Look, stop trying to find that perfect prompt. It's honestly a complete waste of time. I know that sounds a bit bold, but here's the reality. If you're still manually typing instructions into a chat box, you're literally on a fast track to obsolescence by 2026. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tearing down the whole myth of prompt engineering, and instead, I'm handing you the exact blueprint for building a 24/7 autonomous AI workforce. Seriously, I want you to ask yourself this right now. Why are you working for your AI? We spent the last couple of years caught up in this massive prompt engineering craze. And really, what that means is we've just been learning how to be better manual laborers for our machines. But why are you the one initiating every single task? The era of you working for the AI? Yeah, it's ending. And the stakes here are absolutely massive. Research out of MIT shows that 95% of generative AI pilots completely fail to deliver any measurable impact. 95%. And you know what? It's not because the technology is broken. It's because we're still treating this revolutionary tech like a standard pocket calculator. We're just sitting there waiting to press the buttons instead of treating it like the proactive coworker it's meant to be. So here's our roadmap for how we actually fix this today. We're going to cover the death of prompting, the autonomous agent shift, prioritizing context over commands, mastering execution lineage, and finally, building your always-on AI coworker. Let's dive right in. All right, part one, the death of prompting. We're officially moving away from simple dictation and moving toward full-scale orchestration. Let this sink in for a second. The businesses that are going to pull ahead in 2026 are definitely not the ones with the best prompts. They're the ones who've taken repeatable AI tasks and turn them into systems that run completely without human initiation. The big takeaway here? You've got to let go of that prompt anxiety. Stop sweating over finding the exact right magic words. The top 1% of businesses out there, they aren't dictating commands anymore, they're architecting entire systems. Which brings us to part two, the autonomous agent shift. This is all about making that leap from a calculator to a teammate. The contrast between these two approaches is just staggering. Think of traditional generative AI as that calculator. It's entirely reactive. It literally sits there utterly idle until you type in a command. Now, Agentic AI, on the other hand, is your smart teammate. It's proactive. It's operating continuously in the background, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't sit around waiting for you. It actually anticipates the work that needs to be done. So how exactly does this smart teammate function autonomously? Well, it all relies on what's called the agentic loop. Step one is observe. This is where the AI analyzes the context and its environment. Step two is plan. It uses its reasoning to decide the absolute best course of action. And step three is act. It reaches out, uses its tools, and actually executes the task. It doesn't just hand you an answer, it actually finishes the job for you. Now, to make that loop a reality, you need a fairly simple architectural blueprint. Every autonomous system out there requires these three basic layers. First, you need a trigger layer. This is something that wakes the AI up without a human needing to do it, like an incoming email, for example. Second is the AI reasoning layer, which is where it figures out what that data actually means. And third, the action and routing layer, where it sends the final output to the exact right place. You build this, and the need for human initiation is completely replaced. Moving on to part three, context over commands. Welcome to the dawn of the zero prompt era. Get this. 85%. If you've been sitting there wondering how on earth you're going to build these systems without knowing how to code in Python, well, here's your answer. 85% of successful AI orchestration today is literally just writing clear business specifications in plain English. That's it. English has essentially become the modern coding language. You're no longer writing code, guys. You're writing context. And doing that effectively requires a brand new skill called context engineering. Instead of hyper-focusing on some single-use prompt, you need to focus on the environment itself. You do this by providing structured instruction files, kind of like a markdown document. And these act as permanent guardrails. You're essentially giving the AI a permanent brain customized for your specific business, which is way better than trying to explain your entire company from scratch every single time you open a new chat window. I love this quote because it perfectly captures the whole zero prompt concept. The best prompt is the one you never had to write. We are rapidly moving toward a world where new technologies plug your AI directly into your files, your databases, and your existing tools. The AI already knows what's going on behind the scenes. At this point, the manual prompt is officially just a bottleneck. Which, of course, raises a pretty massive question. Let's get into part four, mastering execution lineage and how we actually build trust in AI. How do you genuinely trust an AI to act autonomously, like while you're fast asleep? The secret here isn't just saving a better prompt. It's all about saving what's called the execution lineage. You really need to treat AI work as a directed acyclic graph, or a DAG. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but stick with me. It simply means your workflow is broken down into strict, isolated steps that are completely reproducible. When you save the execution graph instead of just a prompt, you actively prevent those crazy hallucinations. The AI literally cannot randomly change unrelated branches of logic. You get to see exactly how it made its decision every single time. All right, part 5, your always-on AI coworker. This right here is the future of the workforce. So here's your actionable deployment playbook. First things first, stop trying to boil the ocean. You need to define smart problems, ones that are specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. Second, leverage the AI for the discovery process itself. Use it to clarify the exact problem before you even start building. This is going to drastically reduce your scope creep. And third, deploy these solutions with small 3 to 4 person teams. If your team is AI augmented, honestly, that's all the manpower you need to deploy incredibly powerful production-grade agents. When you finally put all this together, when you actually stop typing endless prompts and start building autonomous systems that remember their own logic, you're going to undergo a massive transformation in your business. You literally elevate your AI from a basic reactive chatbot right into an always-on chief information officer. It stops being just a neat tool and becomes a genuine executive asset. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The future of work is clearly not about just talking to machines anymore. It's about managing them. Are you going to keep wasting your valuable time looking for the perfect prompt? Or are you ready to build an autonomous coworker that grinds while you sleep? The choice is entirely yours.